Welcome to Keeping It Real. I'm David Grossman. Good to be here today. We have with us in the studio Michael Davidson with Remax West Realty Inc. brokerage. He's a sales representative specializing in commercial real estate. We're delighted to have Michael with us here in the studio. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you, David.
Glad you could join us.
Thank you for having me here today.
It's a pleasure. So we're here to talk about a little bit about Michael and this very interesting project that he's working on that has to do with student housing, but not just any kind of student housing. This has to do with upscale student housing. And let's face it, today I think in the age of entitlement, and I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, Michael, if you have kids, but I know with my teenagers, my kids, they've got the best phones and everything. I have the BlackBerry that is kind of like already passé. My kids are all walking around with iPhones and technology that I would just love to get my hands on. So this is a day and age where people like their kids to get a good education and to have the best tools, the MacBook. Is that still what they call it? The MacBook? Sure, I think that's what it's called. The MacBook, and the iPhone, and the iPad. And you are working on this property. It's a development opportunity downtown at U of T, prime real estate. And this is a redevelopment opportunity. The plans are completely ready to go. So it's currently a house, which actually we can see in the on the screen. We can see this house, which is kind of it's student housing today, but it's an old house. And
yes.
So there is a development opportunity here for an investor or a builder or developer. 8 stories. The plans are set and ready to go. Tell us a little bit about this opportunity. Absolutely,
David. I like how you were talking about the technology that's iPhone, iPad. This residence would be a great name. You could call it the iResidence.
iResidence. That's a good idea.
That generation of student. But this project is a great location. It no doubt is central to where campus life is on U of T. It's on a street called Glen Morris. It's not a very well-known street as Huron or on Harvard, but yeah, it's a house, and the client that's selling the property had approached my company. We're located in the annex, and we've been there for over 20 years. And I'm a specialist in commercial real estate, so they had wanted to have somebody who really could understand the project and would be able to know what the highest and best use would be for this property. And when you talk about highest and best use for a piece of property, that's really where you look at a piece of land, and just that piece of land, if it's not making you any money, it's basically just land. Yes. And it's not worth anything. It may be worth whatever the taxes that you pay on it are, but when you can define and find out what the highest and best use of a property is, you can build something which will yield its highest return possible for your investment. And that's what exactly the sellers have done. They've gone to the OMB, they've had the zoning, they've had it rezoned for 8 stories, a total of 18,000 square feet of student residence.
Yes. And
it's such a great opportunity to provide housing for the growing student population, which currently, as you know from some of the articles that I've shown you, with students not being able to find accommodation even in today as we speak.
Right.
Just the whole upscaling of student residences it presents an amazing opportunity, and really the plans are pretty exciting. A lot of people I've been speaking to so far have asked me some more specific details about the project. But as it is right now, it's ready to go. If somebody wanted to start building this spring,
yes,
they could start having tenants on a list ready to take occupancy as soon as, I'd say, next winter, 2014, early spring 2014. They could very likely be living in that residence at that time.
Yeah. Now we have some photos on the screen here, which will give us an idea of what's available or what's around it, I should say. So you have the Robarts Library on one side, a daycare on the other, and then a graduate house. So this is right in the heart of everything, right? This is on campus.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like U of T campus, St. George campus, as it's known, starts from College. There's a west side, east side quadrant. There's a northwest, southwest corner. This is the northwest quadrant of the St. George campus, and so right there you've got the Robarts Library, the graduate house next, adjacent to the property, being a U of T owned property. This is a private property that has been owned by my client since 1988. The area is just very U of T. You've got the early childhood education building next door where the young children go to for daycare. And so you've got staff and students living right there on campus.
Right.
The area has a Starbucks just down the street. There's a convenience store around the corner. There's a restaurant there, as well as the transportation, which goes right to the subway along the LRT, the light
Right.
rail, and then just a short walk to the St. George subway station or Bathurst Spadina subway station as well.
Right, but most of, you know, if you're attending classes and it's like potentially minutes away, because you were telling me that there are people who are booking luxury condos up at Bloor Street for $2,000 a month. And, you know, if I was a parent, and like one of the things I would be thinking of is safety. You know, it's good to have your kids close to their school and everything that they need. We were talking about some of these articles that are referenced, and we've got some of the headlines here on the screen. Canadian commercial markets post strong first half of, a small typo there, 2012. Investor enthusiasm gains momentum, says Remax. So the commercial markets are hot. People are, I guess, they can't afford to buy, so it's a good market for landlords. I mean, what's going on in the market?
That's a good point. And yes, if you look at the land being purchased and developed from as far as Yonge and Bloor, right at the corner, where there'll be a very large, highly intensive condominium being built there, right down Yonge Street, new developments going up everywhere. This is an upscale development. It's providing an opportunity for the students not to have to step off campus. They can stay on campus,
right.
walk to their classes, and the opportunity to live on campus versus walking from Yonge and Bloor to school does have a value.
Right. We were also talking about lack of availability of rooms. Students were in October. They're still looking for rooms. That the university is just like booming. Like I don't know where they're going to put all these kids, but you were telling me the number of students going to school is going to something like double in the next number of years. I mean, the numbers are incredible.
Yes, I can comment on that and also answer the question previously, which was like, how is the market? Mm-hmm. There is an investor that is here in Canada, as well as a foreign investor that is looking to put their investment dollars into a safe economy, avoid the global storm, if you want to call it that. That some people may want to have maybe a slightly lower risk, but also diversify their portfolio. And there's a great report that I've recently read about the asset class known as student housing. Yes. And it's a growing asset class that it really isn't as big in Canada mm-hmm. as it is in countries like where Australia, they've got a lack of upscale student housing available.
Right.
So the with the very minimal amount of land available, mm-hmm. especially on campus, it's a very rare opportunity that one might not ever get another chance to have, because the properties are primarily owned by the University of Toronto on this site. So I think that's it's a good opportunity to get into the student housing segment if you're not already there. And there are a lot of people already there who are now buying properties in areas like Brantford, for example, Waterloo, London, and now North York, being that York University is now one of the largest universities in our area as well.
Well, I know I was at York helping a friend move a couple weeks ago, and because I used to go there 15 years ago to school, and all I see now are houses everywhere. I used to drive in, and there was land, and where my building used to be, where I went to school, it's gone. It's like all houses. We have also here a picture. This is a typical floor plan, which you can see. So basically, on each side, you've got 3 rooms, and then there's a kitchen and dining room, I guess, area, and you have the same thing. So 8 floors of this. So you've got 3 and 3. I'm kind of going backwards here. 3 on each side. That's 6 rooms times 8. So something like 48 rooms, or some combination of one bedroom, 2. I mean, what's the layout?
Okay, what's been approved by the OMB, and according to these plans, there are 18 dwellings on the 8 stories. There's 13 3-bedroom units. There are 4 1-bedroom units and 1 2-bedroom unit. So the typical floor plan is the larger, which has the 3 bedrooms at the front and the 3 bedrooms at the back. The elevator being in the middle of the building. And then you've got windows in the hallway, allowing for more light, as well as some greenery, which is also encouraged on campus. That they want to have a smart build, which is going to allow for greenery on the building, not to take away from existing green space that's there now. Stormwater management, which the building's also taken into consider.
Right.
And it's just designed to be rented out as rooms, which is what most campuses are doing. But someone could also rent out 1 unit, and then they could sublease out those units to. I'm not saying how one would want to manage the building, but the management of the building has a huge factor into how much income the property can make, and that's the question that a lot of people that will want to be seriously considering this property are going to want to look at when they're looking at what their return is going to be, how much income it'll bring in. And like you said, Young and Bloor condominium, $2,400 for a 2-bedroom is typically what students are now paying. So 2 students sharing the costs, $1,200 each, is very currently very much the market. Right. So
you did some rough calculations, like which would indicate what the potential return is on this. I think we were saying something like, was it $750,000 in annual revenue?
That's correct. If one was to rent out and proportionally allocate the cost and the income based on my calculations, they should be bringing in a gross income in excess of $700,000. That would be a full year, full year lease without any vacancy, and then obviously your expenses would net out an income somewhere probably in around $500,000, maybe less, maybe more, depending on how much management you've got to deal with. Right,
and the purchase price of the property, the asking price is $2.9 million.
Yes.
And based on your calculations, you were thinking that somebody could potentially build this and sell it, make $1 million, or keep it as and have a very good return on their investment.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a terrific opportunity for just to have a long-term investment that would be a very solid investment over 10, 20 years. I think very likely if someone was to build it and sell it to an institutional investor or a student REIT at some point down the road, once it's being built, at that point, then you've got a functioning asset, which in today's capital markets, someone on the phone told me today, I'd love to be able to buy 15% cap rate properties all day long, but they just don't exist.
Right.
And the real estate market's return, well, let's just put it this way: the apartment industry typical returns for apartment buildings are less than 6%. So 5% would be typically what many of the buildings that are, if they are being sold, if they're available, we'll sell at about a price per door, say whatever, $100 to $200 per door, depending on the location, quality of the suite, versus maybe a cap rate where you'd calculate the income and come up with a rate. And again, it's all a matter of supply demand as well. There's very little supply of any student housing, let alone even apartment buildings for sale in this market.
And you have spoken to builders, so you have an estimate. This entire property could be built out for something like around $4 million or in that neighborhood, something in that measure.
Yeah, that's right. About $4 million is what the costs would be, based on the calculations that we've been able to find from a reliable source.
Right.
That would include the structure, mechanical, all of your hard and soft costs to build. Hard being materials, soft costs being some of the materials and engineering. But all in all, $4 million to build is a very reasonable and it's quite aggressive an amount, but it can be done. And providing an upscale building at that price would be something that could be a great model, if you want to call it, for future projects that could be built all around the city, for that matter.
Right.
With this kind of it's a precast material. So a lot of the project materials that we've looked at could be built before going to construction, giving you lead time to start to build the project with 3-4 months, constructing the project within 4 months, and then having people moving in within 4 months. So all within 1 calendar year, you've got construction, you've got the ordering of materials, construction, and students moving in.
Right.
And that is another benefit of this project, because it's already got the zoning approved, ready to go. So one doesn't have that 2-year, 3-year typical time frame of expediting a project, which typically can even go even longer if you've got to get a number of units sold beforehand, or whether you've got to get you've just got to get it up off the ground. And that's what I'm seeing in the city, is that once a site is announced available for sale, you're going to see the condo up 3 years later. So this project, you could go in, get the building permits from the city just after getting a new site plan agreement signed, have the project built within 12 months of when you get your building permits, and that is truly incredible. Another great thing about this site is if you look at the property, just next to the property, if you I'll just see if I can do this here. This is the Graduate House here, and you've got a laneway here. This laneway starts at Glen Morris and it goes down to Harvard. Right. And in behind the property, the existing property, is another laneway which goes out and over to Huron. Yeah. So allowing for more accessibility to build. Yes. And use the premises for construction all on site without needing to block laneways or street is also a very attractive incentive for a builder when they don't have a lot of the restrictions that most builders have. Right. when they can't even get into the property. There's plenty of room to get around there. Right. Yep. So this basically, you've done all the homework and this is ready to go. That's our last slide, which shows it on the map. It's a little bit tough to see, but basically it's Spadina and Harvard. It's right on campus, so you can't get any better location for student housing. They're not making any more land. I've heard that before. That's been said.
especially downtown. So I think this is all around a fantastic opportunity, and you've done all the legwork. So really, it's somebody just needs to step out up to the plate and you know, kind of lobbing the ball to them. So they just need to hit that home run.
Yeah, I appreciate your enthusiasm about
Yeah.
the project. I'm very excited about this opportunity. It's my first project that I've worked on with student housing, and it's an exciting asset class. There is no doubt that someone will be buying this project in the next 3 months, and I'm looking forward to seeing the project up off the ground once it's been completed.
Yeah, well, I'd like to come and see it. So Michael Davidson is your guy. We never mentioned, Michael is Treb Commercial Division Counselor. So, so he is a man with some knowledge and influence. What does that mean, by the way? What do you do as in that position?
My role as a commercial counselor on the Toronto Real Estate Board is to be a presence for the commercial realtors that are members of the Toronto Real Estate Board. It's a much smaller proportion of members that are commercial, so they have their own representation that help with committees, advising on what education programs are. So I sit on a few different committees in that group, and it's a great mix of people from the larger and smaller brokerages that are members of the Toronto Real Estate Board Commercial Division, and the purpose of the group is to try to provide the best possible tools to the commercial realtor to help them in their job, to be more professional. There are a lot of part-timers in the business, and for the most part, commercial realtors are full-time agents, and we're very much a big part of how the economy grows. We're involved in the creation of businesses. We sell businesses. We sell the land that then gets built, and I'm very privileged to have the opportunity to work with a lot of people who also who have a lot more experience than I do in the business, and I think I'm one of the youngest members of the commercial division, but certainly very active and contributing.
Well, you're very modest, because I know that you're extremely diligent, and you've been working in this area for quite a while in real estate and in entrepreneurship, and that it's something that's been a passion of yours, and that people would be very well served to give you a call on this project or any other, because you're extremely diligent and hardworking person. So if you want to learn more about this project, give Michael a call. We put his phone number up on the screen. I'm sure at least a couple of times. It is 831-7108. That is his mobile. And you can also visit his website, propertyonthemarket.ca, or 15 Glenmorris Street to find out more about this. .com, 15glenmorrisstreet.com to find out more about this project, or just give him a call. So I look forward to seeing this one get sold. It's very exciting. Thank you very much for watching today. Michael, thanks for coming into the studio.
Thank you, David.
And we will see you next time. I'm David Grossman.